Hi guys, I promised one more chapter for tonight. Chapter 32, Jace's Perspective. Starts on page 257, which means we only have 20 pages left, but I can't finish it tonight because, guys, it's already 9:10. It's only 9:11, but there's a car coming. We're gonna have them not see us, okay? Whoa, my floating head. Ooh. Okay, they turned. Anyway, Jace is possibly drunk, but there is actually more to the story, which we'll find out in this chapter. Again, guys, this is Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers, which I'm sure you know by now. And if you don't know, why are you starting on chapter 32 with us? You should be going to the beginning, and y'all need to join my audiobook family because we'll be reading a bunch of other books here. I'll do an update video one of these days. Guys, tell your friends we need to get people here and listening and enjoying books. If you don't have time to read them, listen to them while you go on walks or work out or draw. Let's do this, guys. I think there's people walking around and it's kind of freaky because I'm right next to the road. It's raining, which is so peaceful. Get right into this. Chapter 32, Jace's Perspective, page 257. Let's go. Jace. I wake up to the sound of a beeping machine. Wow, I just messed that up twice. I wake to the sound of beeping machines. Snapping my eyes open, I find myself staring at a white ceiling. What the heck? I blink a couple times, clearing my vision, and look around. I'm in a bed, a hospital bed, and there are a bunch of monitors and an IV hooked up to me. I reach over to rip out the IV, but a strong hand stops me. I know it hurts, but it'll only hurt more if you tear at it, Arrow says. He stares down at me, and I wonder where he came from, and where he's been, and where the heck have I been? The club, that's right. I was supposed to stay there for a few hours to do fan meet and greets, but then I started to feel dizzy, so I got out of there and went to the RV. Yeah, that's right. I remember walking in and seeing concern on Allie's face and hearing her pretty voice and thinking it sounded a lot more beautiful than the music we played earlier. And after that, nothing. Where's Allie? I ask. My voice is scratchy and hoarse, and it feels like someone rubbed my throat with sandpaper. I try swallowing, but that just makes it worse. Arrow doesn't reply, so I reach for the IV again. If he's going to be a jerk and not tell me, then I'm going to be a jerk and not listen to his instruction. Arrow tries to stop me from yanking on the IV, and I fight back, only to feel another pair of hands join in, pinning me down. I look up to find John hovering over me. Behind him, Killer is ready to help if needed. Allie. I repeat, my voice nothing but a small croak. Where's Allie? They all exchange uncertain glances, and I start to panic. I sit up, and the world spins wildly as I gasp in pain. I gasp in a breath. Pain ricochets through my chest and limbs, tearing a groan from me. What the heck happened, and why don't I remember any of it? The room finally stops spinning, and I manage to focus on the figure standing on the foot of my bed. At the foot of my bed. It's a doctor in a white coat, and he stares down intently at a clipboard. He has salt and pepper hair and glasses with thick lenses, and I get the feeling he's avoiding my gaze. The doctor shuffles uncertainly when he feels my stare on him, making me think he's not used to working on celebrities. You should try to rest, Mr. Beckett, he says. We were able to flush out the most flutrism. Flunitrazepam? Guys, I don't know how to pronounce that. If you know how to pronounce Flunitrazepam, please put it in the comments. Okay? Sweet. Guys, sometimes you just I went through that in my head and understood it, and now I don't know. Out of your system. But you're going to feel weak for a couple of days. Fluen what? I say. Fluen what? I say. Roofie, Arrow says to me. Someone drugged your drink in the club. You overdosed. My skin crawls at the thought of having drugs in my body, and I blink hard, trying to remember what I'd even had at the club. I had asked for bottled water, but when my order was forgotten, I had accepted a glass of punch. It was alcohol-free, so I figured the worst thing and it would be sugar. I should have known better. The doctor shakes his head at my chart. You can consider yourself lucky to be alive. Whoever put the fluence, okay, we'll just say roofie, in your drink used a dose that would have knocked out 10 people. The police are looking into it, but so far they haven't found a culprit. And they won't. I know at least that much. Maybe it was a crazed fan targeting me. Maybe the dose was actually meant for a girl. Maybe it was some sort of prank. Doesn't matter much why the drug ended up in my drink, because the police aren't ever going to figure it out. The downtown club scene is just as tight-lipped as it is risky. I close my eyes and let out a curse, wincing as the loud sound strikes my aching head. I'll probably never know who drugged me, but that's not going to stop me from hating their guts. Killer rests a comforting hand on my shoulder, and I wait for him to make some crack out about the irony of the situation. I always go out of my way to avoid alcoholic drinks, and I still ended up getting roofied, but Killer stays quiet. That's a first. I swallow hard and more pain burns my throat. Why does my throat hurt so bad? I ask, and the rest of me. The doctor glances up from his chart and says, "Your throat hurts because we had to intubate you for a short period. You stopped breathing on the way to the hospital. The rest of your body is probably sore from the seizure you had, but there was no serious damage from it." I stare at him incredulously. My breathing stopped. He nods. Like I said, the overdose was very serious. And what about Allie? I asked, turning back to Arrow. The doctor clears his throat and announces, You're on a light dose of painkillers, and the IV saline will flush the last of the toxins out of your system. You should be feeling back to normal within a few days, but you need to stay in bed for now. We'll talk later about when you can be released from the hospital. Any questions? I shake my head, and the doctor quickly shuffles out the door, his nose buried back in his notes. My focus shifts back to Arrow, who's shaking his head. Oh, heck, this can't be good. My pain is suddenly 100 times worse, and my stomach clenches with nausea. I squeeze my eyes closed. As I wait for his answer. The cops have her, Arrow says finally. I called the local station and managed to talk to someone. He said they're putting her on a plane back to Los Angeles. Her dad will pick her up at the airport. Something pokes at the back of my mind, a cloud of memory I can barely grasp. It slowly comes into focus, and I can hear Allie's voice whispering to me. I know it makes me crazy, but I love you. She must have known at this point that she was about to get caught, but she still said she loved me, like it didn't even matter that I completely failed to keep her safe. I tear out my IV before anyone can stop me. It hurts like crap, but I don't care. I deserve the pain. Clenching my fist, I stumble out of bed. Dizziness slams into me, and Arrow yells at me to lie back down. But I ignore him and head for the door. I need to get to the police station and make them realize it'd be dangerous to send her back. Something hard slams into my face, and I vaguely register that it's the floor. Voices erupt around me, and everything goes black. That is the end of chapter 32. From Jace's perspective, it ended on page 261, so we'll pick up on 262, which means we only have 15 pages left, which is absolutely insane, guys. Thank you for coming this far, and if you have, please join my audiobook family. I look like sweaty. And thank you guys again. This has been a really great book, at least for me. I mean, it can be definitely dramatic and a little fast-paced because I think that it's been a month, but they say that it's been 2 weeks, but I'm like, no, it hasn't. Not by the way that you've been saying. Anyway, everybody. That is it for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. And if you want to know about me and my family's travels, go see my A Nomad's Journey vlog. And if you like audiobooks, tell your friends and family that you also know who would appreciate it. You can listen to it while we walk, draw, work out, stretch, anything, guys. And because if you don't have time to sit down and read a book, but you have time to go walk, like you need to walk, then listen to an audiobook instead of music. I mean, you can listen to music because music's great, but anyway, guys, and if you need some fitness stuff, I have a nomad's journey. It's just a nomad's journey. It doesn't have anything else. Bye. Ciao for now.